I'm Doug Parker with Cruise Radio, and today we'll be taking a closer look at Virgin Voyages' very first ship, Scarlet Lady. Before we get to the ship, if you enjoy our videos and you want to see more content, hit the subscribe button and give the video a like. It would be greatly appreciated. All right, now let's take a look at Scarlet Lady. She'll begin sailing out of Miami in early 2020. She is the first of 4 ships being built for Virgin Voyages. Collectively, they'll be known as Lady Ships and play on the term Your Lady Ship. That gives the nod to the company's British heritage. The mermaid gracing the bow of the ship is named Scarlet, and the design of the ship is meant to mimic the lines of a yacht. The Virgin fleet will be what they call adult by design, meaning no one under 18 will be allowed on board. So we'll start our tour of this ship on Deck 5. There aren't a lot of cabins on this deck, but you will immediately notice that, like everything else on the ship, things are a little different than the other cruise lines. For example, instead of ocean view cabins, you have the sea view staterooms. There's going to be 3 types of interior staterooms as well on Deck 5, including ones designed just for solo travelers. This is where you'll also find the guest services desk called Sailor Services. There's also a redemption spa, which is described as a mermaid and a mermaid hideaway with a hydrotherapy pool, mudroom, quartz beds, and other things to be announced in this area. And at night, this space will hold spa parties with a DJ. There are 2 restaurants on Deck 5. The first up is going to be Razzle Dazzle. The twist here, the menu is divided into a nice section, which features vegetarian fare, and then you can naughty things up by adding meat. This space will also feature a juice bar. We'll host another event you don't normally find on cruise lines, a drag queen brunch. And across from Razzle Dazzle, you'll find the high-end Mexican restaurant, Pink Agave. It's also worth noting that all of these restaurants are going to be included in the price of your fare. That's part of Virgin's no nickel and diming policy. You'll notice a lot of blank spaces on the deck plans. That's because they haven't finished revealing the venues you'll find on board yet, so keep an eye on Cruise Radio for the updates. Meanwhile, let's head to Deck 6. Starting at the front of the ship, you'll see one of those spaces we just talked about. The plans don't indicate what's going on right here in the red space, but seeing that there's a similar red space on Deck number 7, I'm going to make an educated guess and say it's going to be some sort of 2-story entertainment space along the lines of a theater or something. Just a guess, but we'll see. Moving from the front of the ship to the back, we come to another space called the Den. Right next door is the Manor, a nightclub named after the very first Virgin music studio ever opened by Richard Branson. This will be a 2-story club stretching up to Deck 7 and offering performances before morphing into a nightclub late at night. Across the way, you'll see a casino. One other thing to notice here is that there doesn't seem to be a lot of space on this deck plan for a casino, so it has me wondering if the casino is going to be a multi-deck casino on this ship or maybe just a small casino. We'll see. But next up on Deck number 6 is a trio of beauty spots. Squid Ink is going to be the first ever at-sea tattoo parlor. They'll have 2 resident tattoo artists on board, so it'll be interesting to see how busy they're going to be. Remember, don't get drunk and get a tattoo. You'll probably regret that. Next to Squid Ink is going to be Stubble and Groom, where guys can go and get an old-school hot lather shave, a haircut, or even a pedicure. Moving on, you'll see a blue space, which is probably going to be shops in this area. It kind of makes sense, but we'll see once they reveal more. Then you'll come to the test kitchen. This restaurant is described as a part cooking class and part restaurant. This space may not be for everyone, as they're not going to have your typical traditional dining menu in this place. More farm to table is what it seems like. Extra Virgin is the ship's take on an Italian restaurant. There are communal tables here, as well as a private dining room, and the whole vibe is made to feel like a mobster's lair that gets a little wilder as the night goes on. So we'll see how that actually plays out once it's open. At the very back of Deck 6, this is going to be the Wake. This is the place to go when you want to get dressed up and have a special night out. They'll feature steak and seafood, a raw bar, and even have a drink cart going around mixing up tableside cocktails. Deck 7 is where you'll find the roundabout atrium. Moving from the atrium towards the aft of the ship, you'll come to the pizza place. You could probably guess what's going to be in here. You can see there are a lot of places on Deck 7 where we don't know exactly what's going here, but we do see on the aft of Deck 7 is the dock. This is going to be inspired by rustic beach clubs and will not only have a bar, but people pushing around carts with various tapas for you to enjoy. Decks number 8 through 14 are nothing but staterooms and suites, but let's take a quick look at those, especially the suites. Those are really cool. Before we do that, another thing to notice here is that this ship does have a deck number 13, which most ships do not. Taking a look at the staterooms, as you might expect, they're pretty tricked out, and not just the suites. The cabins have mood lighting and a bed that can be configured so that during the day it becomes a lounger. You know, a lot of the times you hear people say, oh, you're not going to spend much time in the cabin, but these cabins are actually going to be designed. Not only that can you spend time in there, but you can entertain in there if you want to. Also, a fun side note, when you look at the pictures of the staterooms on the website, some of the renderings show the room the way it would look if someone was actually staying in them, you know, like the bed not being made and there's makeup on the table. Again, that's just not something you see from the other cruise lines. The other cruise lines make the rooms look so perfect. The Ocean View staterooms come in a couple of sizes, including one designed and priced just for solo cruisers. They'll also have a really nice little perch so you can sit at the window and look out or read. All of the terrace staterooms have hand-woven hammocks and chairs out on the balcony, and then the lighting in the room can apparently self-adjust to make it for the perfect viewing of sunsets. Pretty cool technology there. And all of these stateroom bathrooms will have glassed enclosed rain showers, so no shower curtains. And then you'll have the Rockstar Suites. Virgin described them as luxury yachting meets rock and roll royalty, and I gotta say they're pretty incredible. For example, the Cheeky Corner Suite offers balconies that wrap around the aft corner of the ship and run between 300 and 400 square feet. Then the Posh Suite has floor-to-ceiling marble in the bathroom and a peekaboo shower on the balcony. That's going to be interesting. And then there are the Mega Rockstar Suites, including the Massive Suite, which is a great place to entertain. It even comes with an actual record player and a collection of vinyl to electric guitars that you can actually play, and then a hot tub on the terrace there. But you're definitely going to pay for this because the Massive Suites will cost you around $40,000. And remember, that's for at most a 5-night sailing because the itineraries are 4 and 5 night cruises, not week-long trips. So now that we've given you that massive suite to put on your cruise bucket list, let's get back to the ship tour, picking up on deck number 15. The only staterooms on this level are going to be those Rockstar Suites we talked about, located at the front of the ship. Moving towards the aft, you'll come to a private event space, and then the tune-up, which is a manicure, pedicure, and nail salon with killer views of the ocean. Midship on deck number 15, you're going to find 2 pools. One is the main pool, and the other is a well-being pool. That's going to feature a large whirlpool and 2 plunge pools. One of the things they're really pushing on this ship is it's got that whole health and well-being focus. So in this area, you're going to find a lot of things like a boxing ring and various types of strength-building equipment. But don't worry, you don't have to get too healthy if you don't want to, because while the gym and tonic bar will be serving up fresh squeezed juices, they'll also be making handcrafted cocktails. Just past the gym area, we come to the galley. Now, Virgin has made a pretty big deal about the fact that this ship will not have a buffet, but if we're being honest, this area is pretty much a buffet. Here's how they describe it. The food hall will feature a mix of shops and food carts, each offering a unique concept that focuses on curated offerings. So basically a fancy buffet. The other eatery on this level is a Korean barbecue restaurant where you'll get to cook your own meats on a grill built into the table. They predict this will be the loudest venue on board, as every meal starts with a complimentary round of shots, and then as the night goes on, they encourage people to take part in Korean drinking games. Deck 16 is where you'll find Richard's Rooftop. This is the VIP sun deck and bar for the exclusive use of guests in the suites. Just past that is the Sun Club Cafe and the Sun Club, which looks to be where you'll find lounge chairs. On the starboard side of deck number 16, you'll find a series of cabanas, which we'll assume will be for rent, sort of like the Vibe Beach Club on Norwegian cruise ships. The rest of the deck is taken up by the Athletic Club, which will feature a basketball court, boxing classes, and what they're calling the biggest daybed at sea, and of course, a bar. And if you look at the very back of deck 16, you'll see something pretty cool, a suspended catamaran net. That could either be very relaxing or absolutely terrifying, depending on how you feel about heights. Last but not least is deck 17, and again, they've done something very cool here in that they've created a jogging track that's elevated and removed from everything else. You know how on a lot of cruise ships, the jogging track is right in the middle of the action or just underneath the smokestack sometimes. Not here, because the only other thing you'll find on deck number 17 will be the crow's nest, and that's an outdoor yoga area and meditation space. So that's our tour of Scarlet Lady. What do you think? Will you sail it? Is it a little too rich for your blood? Let me know in the comments below. Would love to get your thoughts on this. If you like the video and you want to see more content, feel free to subscribe to the channel and give the video a like. My name is Doug Parker. I'm the host of Cruise Radio and the daily Cruise Radio News Briefs. You can hear both of those wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Just type in Cruise Radio or Cruise Radio News. We'd love to have you be a part of the show. Until next time, I'm Doug Parker with Cruise Radio.